Sup apes, hope everyone's having a good evening. I just wanted to make a quick video on layer and what got me into the long here. Alright, so obviously this was wrecked apocalypse, like everyone got turbo nuked. It was up only. We knew Exalt was talking about the market maker and what they're doing from way down here at like sub $2. And obviously when you get aggressive market makers like this, they're creating these failed swings on the way up with the intention to flush at some point. So they could still go for these lows and even those eventually, but for now it just feels like it's a bit oversold. And it looks like OM 2.0, and obviously OM range actually had a really good initial it's called an automatic reaction, where it hits a zone of interest and there's a really nice pop off that zone like a wick, and then it immediately got faded back down to the range. Then it broke down, and it's like bouncing around. For layer, I'm expecting something slightly different. So it's kind of ranging here, but you could see the original contact was with this high volume node, which was also the point of control, which was also this liquidity void. So actually mark that in wrong, but this is a liquidity void between this wick where the POC is down to this wick right here. And you could see inside of the liquidity void there's a daily flat bottom, so that's called the devil's mark. It's a target for market makers to bring price back to, because this is an untested zone of liquidity. It basically was up only, and there was a huge intraday imbalance here at that flat bottom. So that's the reason they'll typically bring it to that level. What usually happens when you hit that level, you're looking for a really nice absorption wick, which we got. This last two candles are a little weird because we had a good pop off there, but then it got bearishly engulfed the next day. Today we're kind of basing and it's looking good now, but this whole volume node, I'm looking for it to reclaim and then basically recover some of the imbalance. It doesn't have to recover the whole candle, it probably never will, but at least into this imbalance, maybe even to this flat top right here, that 4 hour. But yeah, that was the reason this zone was an area of interest. Plus you could see it kind of decelerated when it got here. So this is a zone where there's obviously a buyer. Now the thing to pay attention to, I check on multi time frames, right? But on the 2-day, you'll see the last remaining obvious imbalance right here. So if this doesn't hold, I would expect them to flush all these failed swings and then basically tap into this zone where you could see there's a bit of an order block that had displacement. Plus you have another high volume node here. So that's the plan. Basically, it based off of this devil's mark. I'm watching it I want it to go up to minimum this structure and this daily imbalance. And then if there's huge momentum, it depends on the momentum, right? But you'd want to see it recover at least half of this imbalance, right? So the idea is to get positioned here, gamble a little, and then see if we get that mean reversion from the highs. So mean reversion, I would just use anchored VWAP from the high. This is currently our fair value. So obviously this is very extended, and that move down was dramatic, right? Like this is gonna induce so much PTSD, but basically you want it to retrace into anchored VWAP from the high, and you would look for this imbalance to be the zone, because you could see right between both the buy and the sell side, here to here, if we just put the ray right through, it was an imbalanced node here on the way up, and it was an imbalanced node on the way down. So this is the zone to TP if you're in the long 155 if we start getting follow through today. But I think it's been in the zone long enough where buyers should have confidence to start bidding. So it looks good on the lower time frame. It looks like it's actually getting that bounce out of the zone. So let's see if it follows through today. And if it does, this could be a massive trade for Cabal. All right, guys, have a good evening.